What is up, my 187th Legion? The Kenobi finale is here. I've watched it. I want to talk about it. That's what we're going to do. So spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen it, get out.
Wait! Just wait!
And without further ado, let's not waste any time. We're getting right into it.
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
Now, that finale was absolutely action-packed. The story was insane. The emotion was insane. The drama, it was excellent. I loved every second of it. Let's get into the breakdown. The episode starts with Darth Vader's Star Destroyer tailing after the shuttle that is carrying the refugees from Jabiim who escaped in Episode 5. And we pan and we see Obi-Wan talking to Roken, and it seems like things are in dire shape. The ship is not doing good. The hyperdrive is down, and it is falling apart because it's taking a lot of damage from the Star Destroyer, and things look hopeless. And so Obi-Wan devises the plan that he's going to lure Vader away to get Vader off the tail of the refugees, and he's going to save them because he knows that Vader only wants Obi-Wan. Meanwhile, on Tatooine, Reva has just arrived because if you remember in the last episode, she found out that there's a child belonging to Owen Lars on Tatooine, and she is here to exact revenge on Vader any way she can. Right now, she's grasping for ways she can get revenge, and this is what she's decided upon. So she's on Tatooine, and she's in Mos Eisley looking for a way to get to the Lars homestead. She's looking for a location, and she encounters this guy who, if you remember, is the jerk, Obi-Wan's boss from Episode 1. Now, panning back to Obi-Wan, he's saying his goodbyes to Leia and saying, if I don't see you later, have a good life. And then it goes over to Darth Vader, who's having a conversation with the Grand Inquisitor on the deck of his Star Destroyer. And Grand Inquisitor is saying that one Jedi doesn't matter. We need to get this cell of what could become the rebellion. And Vader's like, no, I make the decisions here. We are actually going to go after this one Jedi because I want to. And lo and behold, the escape pod that is housing Obi-Wan shoots off and goes to a nearby planet. And then it is closely followed by Darth Vader in his Lambda-class T-4A shuttle. And they are going to fight. We get down to the planet's surface. Vader exits his ship, and who is waiting for him? None other than Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we go into some dialogue. Vader says, have you come to kill me? And Obi-Wan, igniting his lightsaber, standing what I noticed was similar to the way that Darth Vader stood in Rogue One. He says, I will do what I must, just as he said in Revenge of the Sith. So that was a cool callback. And then, to answer that, Darth Vader takes a line from Rebels that he says to Ahsoka and says, then you will die. Obi-Wan answers in the best way I could have imagined without a single word, but he goes into his Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi stance of Form 3 Sorsu, and you know it's about to go down, and go down it does. They begin to duel, and you can tell Obi-Wan's gotten most of his swagger back. He looks comfortable, he looks trained, and Vader looks good. There's some moves in there that replicate the flashbacks that we got in the last episode, and it was very cool to see. But then, we go back to Tatooine. On Tatooine, we have Reva breaking into the Lars homestead after the Lars family has found out that Reva is coming, so they have shelled up and they are prepared for war. They set a perimeter alert, and she broke it, so they know they're there. Owen and Beru are hiding inside the walls, and they have blasters, and they open fire on Reva. It pans back to Obi-Wan and Vader, and they are still going at it. And this time around, it's not going as well for Obi-Wan. Vader clearly has the upper hand, and Obi-Wan is falling. And then we get some dialogue. Vader telling Obi-Wan how weak he is and how his weakness will be why he always loses. And then Obi-Wan loses the high ground because Vader rips a giant hole in the ground, and then he starts throwing rocks on top of Obi-Wan. And what seemingly ends Obi-Wan's life because, you know, who gets crushed by a bunch of rocks and survives? So Vader, thinking he won, he walks away. We're back to Tatooine. Reva has broken through the Lars homestead. She's kind of put a little whooping on Owen and Beru. She sees Luke. Luke is running away. Luke runs out into the Dune Sea, and Reva follows after. Back to Obi-Wan and Vader. Under the rubble is a still conscious Obi-Wan, trying so hard to survive, barely holding a canopy over himself with the Force, and he starts to have flashbacks. He starts to remember what he's fighting for, and that sets him over the edge. and gives him the boost he needs. It amps him up. It gives him that power boost, that triple XP on Battlefront 2. And he throws the rocks over him away. He blows it up, blows a hole, and runs after Vader. And with this new fire under him, Obi-Wan charges Vader right back into battle. And this time it's different. Obi-Wan has the upper hand. There's power surging through him. The Force is guiding him. The Force is boosting him. And he starts to give it to Vader. With this power boost that Obi-Wan has, he uses the Force to do what Rey originally thought the Force was for. Lifting rocks, and lift rocks he does. He lifts up an entire army of rocks with the Force, and he barrages Vader with it, knocking him down, knocking him back, confusing him, disorienting him. It was sick. It was one of the coolest Force displays we've gotten from Obi-Wan, if not the, and it was so dope. Got me up on my feet. I didn't expect it. It caught me off guard. I was like, what is happening? But it was super cool. And after disorienting Vader with that barrage of rocks, he sees a chance and he destroys Vader's breathing apparatus, which causes Vader to stumble even more, and Vader's pretty much beat at that point. Obi-Wan gets a gash on his back with his lightsaber, and then, in very Ahsoka and Rebels-esque, he cuts a giant hole in Vader's helmet, revealing the face of a burnt Anakin Skywalker. And then we go into some of the most heartbreaking dialogue we've ever gotten in Star Wars. And seeing the face of his burnt former apprentice, Obi-Wan calls out to Anakin, to which Vader responds, "Anakin Skywalker is no more. I am what remains." And then Obi-Wan apologizes. He apologizes for everything, to which Vader answers, "I am not your failure. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did." And Obi-Wan, in tears, says, "Then my friend is truly dead." That reminded me of the line from Return of the Jedi in which Luke says,
"Then my father is truly dead."
Now, pan back to Tatooine. Reva has knocked Luke down off of his ridge that he was hiding on. He's unconscious, and she goes for the finishing blow. But before she can deliver it, she realizes that if she does this, she will become Vader. She will become the thing that she hates more than anything, and she will stoop down to his level, and she can't do it. And at the same time, Obi-Wan is sensing that Luke is in trouble, so he goes into hyperspace to Tatooine to see if he can stop him. He arrives there. Owen Lars and Aunt Beru are looking for Luke. He asks what's going on. They say Luke's gone. He says they'll look for her, but on the horizon, here comes Reva holding an unconscious Luke. And she lays him down. She couldn't do it. And she kind of has a little redemption moment with Obi-Wan. She's scared that she's become Vader and that she failed her friends that Anakin killed. But Obi-Wan reassures her that she is risen above what Vader was because she showed mercy. And because of that, her fallen Jedi friends are rejoicing for her. Now, go to Mustafar. Vader is recovered. He has his full suit again. And who's he talking to? None other than Emperor Palpatine. I told you guys he was going to show up. That got me hyped. I love seeing that. That was dope. And he says the same line he said to Vader about Luke in Return of the Jedi. He says, "I hope your thoughts are clear on this matter." Kind of a paraphrase, but it was still really cool to see Palpatine. Now, these are a couple time jumps, time skips. We're now on Alderaan. Leia is safe at home. She has the holster from Tala. She's dressing up to greet a new visitor. Not sure who it is. It's Obi-Wan. What's up, Obi-Wan? And they have a heartfelt moment. Obi-Wan tells her about Anakin and Padme without saying their names because that'd break canon. But still, it was very cool to see as a very emotional and heartfelt scene. A great ending to their story together in this show. Now, back to Tatooine. Obi-Wan takes the shuttle ship toy back to the Lars homestead. He's moving out of his cave. Owen lets him meet Luke for the first time, and he says,
"Hello there."
He leaves, and you think it's over, but no. Who else shows up but Qui-Gon Jinn, the Force Ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn? And for those wondering why he's a Force Ghost, because you may think he's only able to manifest himself as a voice because he didn't fulfill his training or finish his training with the Wills. After death, because he retained his consciousness, he was able to learn how to manifest himself as a Force Ghost. So nothing in canon is broken. that's canon that he was able to do that. So no worries. But he explains to Obi-Wan why he waited so long is because Obi-Wan needed to learn to do this by himself. He couldn't rely on Qui-Gon to get him through this trial, this confrontation with Vader. He needed to learn himself how to handle it, and that he did. He learned to rely on the Force again. He gave in to the Force, and that is when Qui-Gon could reveal himself to Obi-Wan. And I think that was perfect. It was the perfect ending to this show. I got emotional seeing Liam Neeson again. It was fantastic. But that is my review for the show. Reva got her redemption. We got the great rematch with Obi-Wan and Vader, and it did not disappoint. It didn't disappoint. And it was a great conclusion to this story. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm glad you guys watched this video. If you're still here, thank you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Turn on post notifications. Drop a comment, drop a like, drop a dislike if you hate me. But other than that, follow me on all my socials. They're all right here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Almost forgot. May the Force be with you.